Welcome back guys, and we are now here on this video on dictionaries. We have already seen lists and tuples, and this video is going to introduce to this important inbuilt data structure called dictionaries. So in simple words, it's basically a key value lookup. For example, let's say you are storing some users information in a database, or let's say you might want to say that their name is something, their age is something else, probably the date of birth, blood group is something else, right? So what you have is some keys, which in this case are name, age, blood group, etc., and the values against each of the keys. So any lookup that goes over here, you want to actually get the value for the property called name. You will have to pass the key NAME, and then you will be able to retrieve the information that corresponds to the value that has been stored there, right? So let's just do it quickly. Fine. So let's say we have details. We have a details object over here, and this is basically a dictionary. So the syntax is quite simple. All you need is basically these curly braces, that's all. And the syntax for key value goes like this. First you put, let's say if your keys are strings, so technically keys could be strings or integers or tuples. Anything that can give a hash value can be used as a string. Let's say our strings are going to be this, something like name, and the value could be anything. All right, the value absolutely has no necessity of being just the same restrictions as keys. You could have a list as a value, you could have another dictionary as a value itself. All right, so in this case I'm just going to put name as one of the key, name and the value against that. Let's say there's another one called age. I have entered this, and let's have another thing called blood group. All right, so again the thing is that it's really up to you what keys do you want and what value do you want to store against. But I think real information is actually much better. So fine, let's say these are the details that you wish to store in a database. All right, so this has a lot of uses. For example, this could be like an HTML form that you might have fetched from let's say a user who signed up on your website, or there are n number of applications. You can think more about that. So we have this dictionary object. Now whenever we have any particular object, especially when you encounter a new data type, it's always a good idea to actually go ahead first and print its type. All right, so you can see that if I print it, it gives me a class dict, which is short for dictionary, right? So let's see how we can add something to this dictionary. Let's say there was another key value pair, calling it the country, and let's say I want to add that I'm from India. So what I would need to do is just simply put details and then start a square bracket, put the key that you want. In this case the key is country, and then you set that the value is equal to whatever you want the value to be. All right, so I want the value to be, let's say, India. Cool. So yeah, now if you print out the country, you can get that, you will actually get that the country India also is present now in your dictionary. So here we created a dictionary over here, and by the way, PyCharm is highlighting this because it's saying that this could be rewritten as a dictionary literal. So there are multiple ways of actually creating a dictionary. You can try this approach as well, but this is also a functional approach which is quite common. So you have now details printed out. You have been able to update a dictionary, right? Now how would you read something? So let's say you want to print not the entire dictionary itself, but let's say just a particular key. So can you, what if I do details at 0? Should it actually give name and Satyat? You will see that this will throw an error. The error is a key error, which means that this is not something that Python really liked. It doesn't expect it didn't expect the key called 0. The keys that you have are name, age, blood group and country. So if you enter one of those, you are going to get a valid output. For example, see, country provides India. If you do name, you're going to get Satyat. But apart from these keys, if you enter anything else, it's going to throw a key error, which makes sense as well, because the object doesn't really have a key like that, right? You need to have that key first in your dictionary in order to be able to query on that, right? Now, can we also delete a particular key? And yeah, one important thing, what happens if you try to duplicate a key. For example, you can say, all right, let's say I want to add another key, something like I want to have, let's say I have two blood groups. All right, so I could say details blood group equals to, and let's say A positive is my blood group as well, and let's say I just want to access the blood group key in my dictionary. So what should I get? Should I get AB plus? Should I get A plus? Should I get both of them? Right? So you will see that we will get only A plus. Basically, if you provide this syntax, so adding and updating is pretty much the same syntax in dictionaries. If you provide a key that is not present, that key would be added with the value that you provide. If you provide a key that already exists, the value would just be overwritten or updated, right? Now, how can we delete a value? So it's quite simple. All you have to do is just use this keyword del details of, let's say you want to remove the age attribute. All right, so you do def del details of age. Del is short for delete, and now when you print out details, you will see that age is no longer present because age has been deleted. That key doesn't really exist. So when the key is gone, the value against it is also taken off. All right, keys are how things are indexed. Okay, so we have seen all the CRUD operations. We have been able to create, read, update, and delete. Let's also look at some membership and looping on this dictionary. All right, so what if you want to, what if you want to actually test if a particular key is present in a dictionary? So that idea is called membership, right? And it's as simple as this. You want to check a particular key is present in a dictionary or not, right? So you could just say print, or actually I'll do an if else statement because it looks better. So I'll say if, and here you have to enter the key that you want. Let's say if country in, and the name of your dictionary is details. So if country in details, you can say print country. You can just say present, else you could print not present. All right, so what's going to happen now, because country is present, you can see that it has been added in line number 8. We should get the print output of present from here, right? When we run this, we do get present. Now if we change it to something else, like something that is not present, let's say country 1 2, this key is not present, we are going to get not present, right? What if we print put age? You see that age has been deleted, so it no longer exists in your dictionary, so you will see that age is also not present. So this is basically the idea of membership. You test whether or not a key is present in your dictionary. All right, the last concept that we are going to be seeing over here is looping. All right, looping over the dictionary. So it's actually quite important because you may need to actually loop over all the, let's say you have a dictionary that kind of contained your results. All right, so I'll very quickly make a separate dictionary. So let's say result, and you had given some exams. I'll just call them as, let's say, math, you got like 78, and English you got probably an 82. Oops, excuse me. And maybe in science you got a 79. Cool. So let's say you just want to calculate the average score of all these three. Cool. So the idea is that you have to loop over each one of these key value pairs and add the value every time, right? So that idea is quite simple. You just start a for loop, okay? And before we start, let's just have a variable called as total, all right? And total would be initialized to 0 because currently the score is 0. So total is basically like the total number of marks that have been encountered till now. And once we start looping over it, we could say for key in result. All right, now what do you want to do? You want to get the value stored against the key, not the key itself. All right, see, if you print out the key, you're just going to get math, English, and science. So you're not really interested in the key, you're interested in the value at that key. So how do we access that? We just type the name of the dictionary, result, and then we pass the key, right? This will actually give us the value 78, 82, and 79. What do we want to do with that? We want to add that to the total, right? And at the end, what do we want to do? We want to just get the average, right? So the average will basically be the sum of all of these divided by the number of key value pairs you have, right? So thankfully you also have an inbuilt function, that kind of calculates very easily how many key value pairs you have. And just like dictionary or tuples, it's called len. So you can see that if you print out len of result, it's going to be 3, right? Now what you want is not technically len of result, but you want total divided by len of result in order to get the average, and you can see that it comes out to be 79.66. It's basically an endless stream of sixes. So if you want, you can actually round this up. All right, you could just say round this to let's say 3 decimal places. All right, and this will give you 79.667. The other way to do this rounding part is you could use a formatted string, but I think round is a better function to use, much more straightforward and easy. So yeah, these were the important concepts in dictionaries. I hope you have understood this and been able to grasp some benefit out of it. With this, I conclude this video and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you.